Hello everyone, welcome back to again on my YouTube channel and on Facebook. To the front of you again, I have sitting here taking a new topic from the book of 10th class, and that book name is there, Footprints Without Feet. Which topic about today I have to make out the beyond all of you. The topic name is there, a question of trust. That is very hilarious sort of the story from the book of 10th class. The student who is reading in 10th class. First of all, I would like to tell to you, my all dear student, you must watch this video concept, because in this video concept I am to have of all those kinds of sentences in English to English. If you go to understand to all kinds of the sentences meaning, then really you will feel to very comfort the back for speaking, the back for understanding of any kinds of the sentences into English which will be spoken by any other person. In that moment, you will not feel of any hustle, you will not feel of any problems, the back for understanding. Some of the students in this modern time, they are facing from the part of words power, means they have lack of words power. Due to that, they are unable to understand, they are unable to speak. I am telling to you, if you have absence of the word power, then you search of that words from your vocabulary, and after searching of that, you try to speak the front of anyone. If you will use of that kinds of the word the front of anyone, then that word just will be inserted on our tongue, and whenever you will want to speak of any kinds of the thing, that just that kinds of the word will become on the tongue and will be spoken very well by you. And if you will not do so, then really in whole life you will be facing different kinds of the issues, different kinds of the hassles, and you will not be able to overcome from that kinds of the problem. Which problems this time you are getting, whether from which kinds of the problem you are facing right now. These all kinds of the problem will be not gone very soon from our life if you will not strive in your life the back for improving of our words power, sentences power, and more any other kinds of the thing which is coming in our English speaking related. All of the kinds of the things you will have to get, and you will have to care the back for improving. If you will go to care the back for improving of our words power, sentences power, then you know that within few months, within few years, all those kinds of the problems will be obliterated by you. Means actually in your life like that problems will never come, and you will never face from that kinds of the problem. Actually also like this condition, it was happening with me when I was unable to speak of any kinds of the topics, any kinds of the thing at that moment. I was murdering lots, I was murdering to so much the back for talking at that moment. Also, I think like this matter, my God, how to improve of my English speaking, but how to improve of my words power. These kinds of the meters were moving in my minds, but I was not jittering, I was not perplexing. I was thinking only one thing: if I will evolve of my word power, sure, I will be able to speak of any kinds of the things. And day to day, I started to improve of my words and sentences for exposing the front of anyone's, and gradually I am able to speak of any kinds of the things too very well. And if you will not care of this kinds of the matter which I have told of you at the beginning of this video, then really you will not be able to improve of your speaking parts, and also you will not be able to overcome from that kinds of the problem which problems you are coming to face from a longer time. If you are wanting to abolish of these kinds of the problem, then you will have to take to serious the back for reformings to every kinds of the things, then that will be improved. And if you will not care that, then that will be consisting in your life, and you will feel to yourself that, my God, I have good grammar, I have good sentences, even if I am unable to overcome from that English speaking parts. Like this meter will come in your mind, and you will feel to very bad at that moment. So I am saying to you, please try to improve of your habit, improve of your word power, improve of your sentences, and you do not take off any haggle while speaking. You speak exactly peacefully what you want to talk about of any topic. If you talk about of those, then you will be able to talk with very nifty. Means that will not be a nap. Means which will think that things will not be nap. Means that will be very nice. Means you will be able to speak with very nifty way. So which I have told of you at the beginning of this video, you must follow in your daily life, and day to day you go to improve gradually, and one day you also will become to very great speaker the back for explaining of any kinds of the concept. Now let me come on the points about of that points. Just I'm going to have to you. The front, all of you, what is the topic here? A question of trust. First of all of you have need to understand what is the meaning of this subtitle, which has written in this chapter subtitle. There has written a question of trust. Actually, there is the trust. There is the trust in a question, and which kinds of the trust there is coming in a question. About that I am going to define the front of you. In this story there are mainly two characters. First there is coming one Horace Tenby named person. Who is coming? Horace Tenby person named in this story. He is known very kind and honest persons. Means every people was saying him he is very kind and honest. But Horace Tenby is telling to himself that the people were thinking about of me, I am very kind and honest, but I was not like that. Because he is telling to himself that in a year he was stealing once, and he was stealing of that kinds of the persons who had lots of the property. Of that kinds of the persons he would steal. And after the stealing of that property, he invested of that property, whether that money, the back for buying of any rare and expensive book. Means he would like to read many expensive books. That's why he was stealing once in a year, and from that money he bought any new kinds of the book from any publications, and he was reading. And now I'm going to tell about of his characters. What is more character is relating the back of that Horace Tenby. Actually, he was unmarried. Means Horace Tenby was 50 years old, unmarried. He was already lockmaker. He was very expert lockmaker. But he is telling to himself that in my professions, I was keeping two servants for making the lock. And also he is telling to himself that means I had lots of the income the back for making of that lock and all, but I was not investing of that money the back for buying of any expensive book which he would like for reading. The back for buying of any books he did not invest of that money, which money was earned by Horace Tenby, the back for repairing of any lock and all. Means which money was coming from the repairing of any locks, that money he was not investing the back for buying of any books. Only he was investing of that money, which money was stolen by Horace Tenby, and so which money was coming from any homes by stealing. That from that money only he was buying of that books. And now here is telling he has comes from jail 15 years ago, and now also he is suffering from allergy. He is suffering from allergy disease, and he is telling himself that I most like to collect rare and expensive book, because he was most liking to read of any costly book, of many expensive book. Now he is telling to himself that one day he was reading, and he was reading a magazine, and when he was reading of that magazine, just in magazines there was given of any Gareth Sotover's home descriptions. When he read of that Gareth Sotover's details, then just he started to feel to himself that actually in that magazines there was given fully details about of a Gareth Sotover home. Means in that homes there are 2-3 peoples. There are means owners and owners, and also there are 2 servants. And also in that place it was given that next day owner or owners both have to go to London for watching movie, and who is 2 servant in that house also after 8 o'clock they would go to market for buying daily uses supply things, and that servants would comes after 2 or 3 hours. And now he is thinking to himself that actually owner or owners both have to go to London for watching movies, and also servants are gone away in the market for buying of any daily uses supply things. At that moment, if I will enter in that home, then I can plunder whole kinds of the property from the house of that Karen Sotor, because in that house there was a room. In that room there was a coffer, means there was a safe, and in that safe there was so much ornament, there was so much golds, silver, these kinds of the things. It was inside of that coffer. When he, means there was given 15 pounds jeweler, it was inside of that coffer. When he read of this notification through the help of that magazine, just he made plan to himself that if I will go and if I will enter in that home, then all kinds of the jeweler I can rob, and if I will rob of that, then after selling of that ornaments in market, I can buy so many costly book, and made the plan today. After making plan, just he is packing his whole tools for opening the lock and all. After packing of that all tools inside of the bag, just he became ready. That just he hung the bag in the back, and after hanging of that bag, just he came out in early morning. When he came out in early morning from his home and reached the near of that garage Sotover patio, means the near of that garage Sotover courtyard. When he reached there, then he saw both, means owner owners both came out from the homes for going to London, and both have started to go, and also the back of owner or owners, two servants also were going for following. After that, when they all went to some distance, then just Horace Tenby is crossing in the courtyard of that garage Sotover, and when he reached the front of the main gate, then he saw that the door locks key, it was hanging the front of the door frame, means in that door frames there was a nail, and that key was hanging there. Just he thought that how to get up of this key of this house. Just he put off his bags, and just he opened up the bag, and he took out gloves, and at first he put on gloves. After putting on that gloves, just he is getting off that key, and he opened the lock. When he opened the lock, just beside of that home there was a dog. His name was Sherry. When Sherry saw of this strange person at that time, just that Sherry started to bark. But just Horace Tenby started to think that this time what to do, how to make to silent of this Sherry named dogs. Just he searched out of any idea, he started to search out of any strategy for making silent of that Sherry name's dog. He thought that if I will give of any love, if I will give little bit love of this dog, then really the dog will be silented. Otherwise, if I will give of any kinds of the food for eating of this dog, even if dog will be silented. So just he said like of Koto, he spoke like of Koto. Okay, okay, Sherry, well done, means he talked with very lovely voice. When Sherry heard of that lovely voice, after some time, Sherry became too silent. After that, he entered inside of that homes, where he had seen about of that room, means in which rooms there was ornaments. In that room he is going. When he went there, then when he entered inside of that room, he saw in that inside of that room there are so many paper which was scattered all over the place, and also on the top of table there was any artificial flowers, and so also on the table there are so many expensive book. When he saw that, just he attracted the back of that expensive book, means he started to think of that I will carry some expensive book from this room. So at first he thought that there are so many papers. At first I shall have to collect, and those all papers, in that all papers there was drawn different kinds of the pictures which was attracting the minds of Horace Danby. So this time he decided to collect of that every paper, and he started to collect. And there was one flower vase on the top of tables. From that there was coming any scent, and from that so he was facing some problem because he was already an allergy patient. That's why he was sneezing again and again. He was sneezing again and again. Whenever any kinds of the odors stinking, it came in the nose hole of Horace Danby. Just he started to sneeze again and again. So actually also that artificial flower, it was disturbing of Horace Danby. After some times, when he started to sneeze again and again, what means now he has not gone the near of that copper, means the near of that shelf, for taking out of that ornament. Now he is busy the back for collecting of some papers, and also he is collecting some books. After some time, just from the outdoors, any voice came. That voice was telling, actually at first you should take better treatment, after that you should come in this room for stealing. Means like this voice was coming from outdoor whenever he was sneezing. Means whenever he sneezed just from the outdoors, the voice came like this. At that moment, actually Horace Danby was not carrying in outdoors voice because he was very busy the back for collecting paper. But when he started to sneeze continually, then like this voice started to come again and again. Then last when he collected some paper, after that just again from the nearest the voice is coming. At first, hello, at first you take better treatments, after that you come here for stealing. But when that nearest voice came, then just Horace Danby might attracted the way of that main door, and when he turned off his hit the way of that main gate, he saw in the middle of the door one lady was standing, and that lady was looking very pretty. Means she was very adorable lady. She was very dandy lady. When he looked at that dandy lady, just for some time he is jittered. Sometime he is aback, thinking this, my God, who is she? Who is she? After that he left for collecting of that paper, and just he started to look the way of that lady. That lady is looking the way of Horace Danby, like of a smiling face. She is smiling very nice with very good mood. She was giving a smile. When Horace Danby looked of that attractive and adorable lady, just he stood off from that place, and he is wanting to come out from that room. When he is wanting to come out from that room, just that lady is stood off in the middle gate to a stretching of both hands, and when that lady spread off her hands, then Horace Danby could not come out from that room. And now also that which was a small dog in out of that gate, also that Sherry means that Sherry, also he was rubbing off its neck through the leg of that young lady who was very pretty. And now this time he is thinking, means Horace Danby is thinking, means how to come out from this room. But when he was wanting to come out, just that lady said that, where are you going? Today I have caught a real thief. Where are you going to flee away from this place? Like this matter it was told by that lady, and that lady is telling, you can't get out from this place. Now what are you thinking? Means You may be thinking that owner or owners both went away to London for watching movie. You do not think like this matter. Now I am going to call the police and now the Bobby will arrest of you. When like this matter it was told by that young lady, just Horace Stanley said after listening of her voice, means how you will call up any Bobby? Before entering inside of this home, I have disconnected all wire, means all electric wire I have disconnected. Then how will you call to any police involved? But when Horace Stanley said like this matter, just that young lady thought that my God, I think he is looking more clever than me. He is very clever than me. Like this matter, it was thought by that young lady. So just that young lady started to search out of any other kinds of the conspiracy and just now she's thinking how to involve this person in a very big trap. So just she thought that actually I can't involve these persons in any easy way. I shall have to do something for involving of this boy and this person. So just now that young lady is telling, okay, I am knowing well. I am knowing already of this all about. You have come in this room. When you have you had entered inside of that room, at that times you have disconnected of all those wire of this house. You are really very great person. You are very a smart minds person. Like this matter, it was admired by that lady, and now she started to give very sweet smile the way of Horace Stanby. When Horace Stanby looked at her sweet smile, also Horace Stanby is a smiled looking the way of that young lady. And now just that young lady is telling to herself that what to say today at evening times. I have to go in any friends party and how to participate in my friends party, because I have forgotten for bringing the key of this safe, because my all jewels are inside of this coffer, means my all jewels have been kept by my husband inside of this coffer. To how to take out that when I was going. Then after going to some distance, just my friend called to me, means you will have to participate in a party. That's why again from the middle roads I had to return my home, but I forgot to ask the key of this coffers from my husband. Like this meter, it was told by that lady. Means now she is making of very big excuse this time. When Horace Stanby heard like that matter, just Horace Stanby is telling of that young lady, why are you worrying for this matter? If you have forgotten for asking of that coffer key from your husband, you don't worry that, because already I am a lock maker. If you will say to me, then I can take out of that all jewel to breaking the lock of this coffer. But just that young lady is telling, if you will help to me for taking out of that all jewel from that coffer, then I will bless of you, whether I will say lots of thank. But when Horace Stanby heard like this matter through the mouth of that young lady, just Horace Stanby is attracted and he is involved in that sweet matter of that young lady, which was made very great excuse by that lady. And now just he took out of his all tools for breaking the lock of that coffer. And now this time also Horace Stanby is telling the front of that young lady, now I am going to break of this coffer locks, but when our husband will come, before coming of our husband, means you will have to mend it, means you will have to repair it. But when that young lady heard of this matter, means he is telling to me for repairing of this coffer lock, just that young lady is telling, indeed I will repair it before coming my husband. You don't worry for this matter. You don't worry for repairing of this lock and all of this coffer. Before coming my husband, I will repair it. After that, just Horace Stanby took out hammer, means also you can say that from the other way, hammers and awls, and also chisel. By the chisel ends, hammer just broke the lock, and after breaking of that lock, just he put off his gloves from the hands, and bare hand he got of that all 15 pounds jewels. Means he got off, means he put off of that all 15 pounds jewels by his bare hands, and he is interesting in the hand of that young lady. After giving of that jewel, just Horace Stanby is telling, means now I have given of you this which you were wanting to take, but now you can wear, and now also you can participate in your friends party. Now you leave me, and now let's me go. When that young lady took up that 15 pounds jewels, just that young lady is again smiling the way of Horace Stanby, and just the young lady is telling, today you have helped to me in this case, but how to thank you, but I am thanking you for helping me in this time, because I had forgotten for bringing of that key of this coffer, and you have taken out of that all jewel, and you have given to me at this time. For this, lots of thank you. And when she said like this matter, at that times Horace Stanby became very glad, became to very glad, listening the sweet voice of that young lady, and now just he is wanting to come out from that house. Just that young lady is slided one way, and when Horace Stanby got a space for coming out from that room, just he came out. When he came out and when he went to his home, then after 3 days, just the police is gone in the house of Horace Stanby. When police came in the house of Horace Stanby, just police said to Horace Stanby, let's come to me, because you are being arrested. You are being arrested in stealing of Karen Sotover's jewel, means Karen Sotover's ornament. When Horace Stanby heard of that kinds of the matter, means I am being arrested in stealing of that Karen Sotover's ornaments, then just he is awake, he is surprised again, thinking this matter, my God, where have I stolen of that money? I have not stolen any kinds of the jewel and all. Means he started to say like this matter, the front of that all Bobby, I have not stolen. Actually, all of the jewels I have given in the hand of that house owner's hand. Then how are you telling to me I have stolen of that all jewels? I have not stolen. But that all Bobby said, or Horace Stanby, whose have you given of these all kinds of the property, while all kinds of the jewels? At first you come to jail, at first you come to prison, after that you will see whose have you given. When Horace Stanby is gone to prison, then actually in that prison also you can say from the other way, when Horace Stanby is presented in the court, then just he is looking, there was other owner or owners, there was not of that owners which he had seen while stealing of that jewel. That real owner owners both were looking like of old, and the hair of that owners, it was looking like some brown or grey. Means actually that lady was looking like to genius. She was aged woman who was a real owners of that garage sort of, and also who was the owner. Also, he was aged man. Means when Horace Denby saw of both owner or owners, just he is fallen in very big thinking point. He started to think of that, my God, actually I have been made very big foolish by that young lady. But the lady who was telling to herself that I am the owners of this garage whatever, then who is she, whether who was she? I think also she was very greatest thiefess. Like this matter, it was thought by Horace Denby, and finally in that prisons he was made librarian, and again he started to pass of his life in jail and living in that jail library. He started to read some different kinds of the expensive book, because before 15 years he had come from the jail and again he has gone in the jail. This story is over there. I am telling of you, my all dear students, whatever things I have explained about this story concept, that all concept all of you have to go to put in the minds, and after that you will have to practice for speaking of different kinds of the story, not only this story. If you are knowing to more and more in other kinds of the story, you try to see for telling. If you will practice every day for telling of any kinds of the story, day to day in all of your minds will be increased so many sentences, so many words. If you are wanting to improve of a really glossary, then, and if you're not, if you are not wanting, whether if you not want to improve of our glossary, then really or vocabulary or words power, which you say right, that anything is not to improve in our life. So I am saying you, please you try to improve to thinking too much of those which you are wanting to get in the life. That's why there is called one motivational ghazal, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible in all of us life. If any person who is thinking to themselves that means in my luck there has not written for reading or writing, it is very bad matter. You do never think such kinds of the matter in your life. That's why there is called one motivational गजल. जिंदगी का हर शौक को पाला नहीं जाता, कांच के खिलौने को उछाला नहीं जाता, मेहनत करने से हर मुश्किलें हो जाती है आसान, पर हर काम को तकदीर पे टाला नहीं जाता. Means you do not think that, means actually in my life there has not written for reading or writing. Everything it has written in your life for doing, but let's see for doing of that. If you see for doing of any kinds of the things, then sure that work will be done in your life, and you will nail, you will nail. You will not feel any difficulty in your life. You will not feel of any circumstance in your life. So every day, all of you read some words, some sentences, and after completing of some sentences or words, you see speaking the front of those who is understanding to very well of English sentences. If you will see to speaking, then sure I am saying to you that will be spoken by you very well. But before speaking, you will have to keep what? Confidence. If you will have good confidence, sure you will be able to speak. And if you will keep exactly diffidence inside of the heart, then really you will not be able to speak out bluntly. You will have to talk solely as the concept that is going in your mind. According that, you will have to go to speak assertively. If you go to speak exactly according to your thinking, that will be spoken very well. There will not be lacked. There will not be lacked word power, sentences power. No anything will be absence in all of your minds. Everything will be accomplished by you. Very nice. Which indication I have given the last of this video, please all of you follow in your life. And if you have understood, or if you have apprehended to completely part of this story, otherwise you have understood throughout of this story, then I would like to tell to you all my viewer, please you like, subscribe, share, and you don't forget to press bell icon button. Thank you again. I will visit in my next video. For till then, bye bye. Thank you.